Hey friends, welcome back to more Reddit stories about people getting exactly what they deserve. Hope you're all doing awesome today, and let's begin. Today I effed up by being an a-hole on the internet and causing a stranger to get divorced. I'm cross-posting this from Today I effed up. I'm not really a mean person and genuinely felt terrible for destroying a marriage, but the lovely users thought I should post here, though I didn't mean for the revenge to go to this level by any means. I don't even know if I meant for revenge at all, but here we are. I'm a 42-year-old female. Today I effed up big time. 2 weeks ago on a random Thursday morning at like 1 a.m., someone started shooting off fireworks in my neighborhood. I've been having bouts of insomnia and was finally able to get to sleep, and I had to wake up at 4 a.m. for a meeting 2 hours away that I had to be at for 8 a.m. I was pissed, and so were my dogs. I love fireworks, but think there's a time and a place. Thursday morning at 1 a.m. is not it. I posted to the neighborhood Facebook group a few hours later during a coffee break about people that set off fireworks at 1 a.m. midweek. After I make the long drive home, I check my Facebook. Some guy comments that I can't sleep because I'm a fat pig. Now I'm chubby, but not sloppy fat. Plus, I lost the equivalent of a fully grown male wombat or 54 North American gray squirrels, so I feel awesome about myself. This is where I may have really effed up. I respond to the guy who is maybe mid to late 30s or very early 40s, about the same age group as me. I write in a comment beneath his, "Listen, guy's name, I'm sorry I had to end things, but I just didn't have the same feelings. What you're saying now is just hurtful and mean. Please stop sending me messages, and commenting on my Facebook posts is just a pathetic way to contact me. I told you a dozen times already, we are done. It's over." The following day, I had to get to the airport for an out-of-country vacation that had me getting up early and leaving early as hell, so I don't check my Facebook during all the craziness. I could not check my Facebook even if I wanted. I was on a cruise, not paying $25 a day for internet, and the country we visited didn't really have the greatest Wi-Fi. Besides, I was having a blast leaving the chaos of the world behind. I signed on Monday night, and apparently, people took this seriously and told his wife. She was freaking out on me, pleading for information, sending me messages. Her and his friends were DMing me. He was DMing me. It was bad. The last message was the guy saying I'm a total C-word because I refused to tell the truth, and I just destroyed his life. I immediately messaged both him and his wife explaining what happened. I sent pics of me on vacation even, timestamped. Apparently, he is a serial cheater, and when I exposed our affair, another woman exposed her affair with the husband to the wife because affair partner was jealous that he had yet another side chick. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, because not only of the multiple affairs, but because he humiliated her with how public it was, especially it being a neighborhood group. So there's my accidental pro-revenge. So you like to throw stones at passing cyclists? Prepare for the fright of your young life. This happened around 2010. I was cycling around Haringey Green Lanes where I lived at the time. The area is gentrified now, but at the time it was considered to be a bit rough by London standards. Those familiar with the area know that there are narrow alleyways that connect up all the side roads, off of Green Lanes. So I'm cycling past one of these alleyways and see a group of rowdy kids messing around inside the alley. There are 4 of them, age maybe 11 to 12, and making a lot of noise, as kids do. As I pass them, they all go quiet. Sensing that something is up, I shoot them a look over my shoulder and catch one of them throwing a stone at me, which bounces off my back. This is followed by an explosion of laughter and jeering. Now, I remember being a kid, and the lengths that kids go to entertain their friends. To be honest, I wasn't even that mad. But in that moment, I decide to make this a teachable moment for the little bastard, and to make sure that he will never forget me. So I pretend to lose my mind. I toss my bike to the road, turn and sprint at them full speed to quickly cover the 10 to 15 meters between us. At the same time, I scream in a pretend rage and wind my arm back like I'm about to deliver a WWE haymaker and end a young life or two. They barely have the time to register what's going on. 3 of them scatter like cockroaches, but the one who threw the stone freezes in his tracks. He kind of just collapses against the wall with his arms outstretched, babbling and begging for mercy. I put my face right next to his and whisper, I'm only joking, kid. The kid blinks for a second, and then promptly starts to wail loudly, like he's carrying the burden of the world on his little shoulders. I walked away feeling like I had done the world a small service. Police were called because of leaves. That's gonna cost you. This is recent and very petty, but great. My friend keeps a very clean yard. In the fall, he likes to get all the leaves before it rains and they become a pain to pull up. His neighbor doesn't care about his yard as he has owned the house for a few years and still has not moved in. He lives a few states away. As my friend was finishing up sucking up the leaves with his machine, some of them blew into the neighbor's driveway. Maybe 20 leaves total. My friend finished up and went inside. About 20 minutes later, there was a knock on the door and a squad car outside. The officer said they received a complaint about leaves being blown into the driveway. The neighbor had been watching on his doorbell cam and decided this transgression warranted police intervention. You could tell the officer was visibly annoyed, as my friend asked the officer to look at his yard and then his neighbor's. The pettiness. The neighbor had an old car shipped and dropped in the driveway about 8 months ago, where it has sat ever since. Remember, he still lives a few states away. While my friend told the officer he would clean the leaves promptly, he asked the officer if he could do him a favor. Check the car for proper tags. The officer saw the car in question and gave a slight smile. While my friend cleaned the leaves out of the driveway, the officers were walking around the car looking at the VIN and running information. You could hear the neighbor on his doorbell asking what the problem was. There is a law, any car in the driveway must have tags and insurance on them. The police gave him a call and told him his car was in violation, and he either needed to put the car in the garage, which would need to be lifted and dropped in the garage, or get the registration, insurance, and an e-check on the car that can't be driven, taken care of within 2 weeks, or they will be back to tow the car and ticket him. Dude cost himself a 10-hour car ride to get his car lifted and stuffed in the garage, all over a few dead leaves. Ma'am, you can't be parking in the loading zone. So I ended up ruining someone's day a while back all over a little sign that reads, "No parking, loading zone, 0800 to 1700 Monday through Friday." I was delivering to a larger mixed retail strip mall in a Toronto suburb. The place doesn't have a rear delivery area, so by design there is blocked off areas on the side of the complex to allow delivery vehicles, garbage, and couriers access to unload during the day. The place also has a medical center next door. That medical center charges for parking. The strip mall doesn't. So enterprising cheap people will park and walk over, even though a multitude of signs prohibiting the practice are plastered all over the lot. So the complication is that loading area is closest to the medical arts building, has parking lines laid down, but is signed, "No parking, loading zone 0800 to 1700. Monday through Friday, dozens of cube trucks use this lot for their daily needs. However, it's not often that a full-size semi, me, has to use it. I need every inch of that lot to position properly so that I can get the freight off and on my merry way. Often I'll arrive and there is a single car or two occupying a space. They are a bother, but can be negotiated around easily. On this morning, I'm rolling into the lot when a full-size Escalade pulls in behind me and parks right beside the loading ramp in the one spot that absolutely ruins my approach. There is literally 50 spots in the loading zone to choose, and like 500 spots in the actual parking lot. I rolled down my window and motioned I need to use the ramp. Now most self-aware, self-conscious people would get the hint. Nope. Mrs. Self-Important decided that she's parked, y'all can deal, unloads her booger eaters into the stroller and obviously ignores me as I'm protesting her parking choice. My parting shot. Great example you were setting for your kids, lady. Earn me some shade and a casual, obscured middle finger salute. Fine then. I have nothing but time on my hands. Rushing around and in a hurry, I can solve that for you. Called the towing number on the sign. Says they are less than an hour out. Then called my store contact who spotted my reversing. He also called the towing company to complain. With an extra pair of eyes, I placed my truck inches from her back bumper, snapped a couple cell pics for liability coverage, and started unloading. Then karma came calling, self-addressed to Mrs. Self-Important. A compactor garbage truck came through to empty out the mall bins a little over to the right of Mrs. Self-Important's parking spot. After some eye rolls from the garbage truck driver, the empty bin miraculously managed to end up blocking her only path of escape after my tight squeeze parking. Oh crap, she's hemmed in now. So I got a crew of guys unloading me. We're all anxious, knowing the crap is gonna hit the fan. Finally, the fruits of our labor ripen. The tow truck arrives, looks at the situation we've created, and is nothing but laughs. He's snapping pictures of the mess. He dollies the wheels of the Escalade and slides it perfectly out and onto his flatbed. 10 minutes and he's gone. Security arrived during the tow out and remained. Sure enough, 90 minutes after leaving, Mrs. Self-Important is returning from the medical center, Rugrats in tow. Goes from zero to righteous nuclear indignation in an instant. Demands to know where her car is. One of the guys unloading me hollers, "Oh, the one blocking the ramp? It's towed." Her phone is out in an instant, videoing us, claiming harassment, theft, and damages. She's on 911 in a flash, accusing us of stealing her car. Security quickly intervene and in the most professionally condescending tone possible, explain the signs, the towaway loading zone, and the contact for the company who towed it. The region's finest in blue show up and take over. I give a quick statement and the officer basically says, a civil matter. She ends up relenting, defeated, and a taxi is called. I wrap up unloading my truck under her murderous stare. So I'm rolling out and on my way and I get a text from my dispatcher. "You stealing people's cars now?" I let my father pay for an hour-long phone call he was too lazy to terminate. My father is very grandiose and entitled. He expects other people to move out of his way when he walks down a sidewalk. Expects others to open doors for him, prepare drinks for him, pick up his litter, etc. One of my pet peeves is also that he always expects others to terminate phone calls. Regardless if he is the caller or just answers the phone, he can never be bothered to press that red icon at the end of the call. He just puts the phone on the desk and expects the other person to terminate the call. I half suspect that he does it to eavesdrop on people if they forget to terminate the call. So he called me while I was doing some bathroom cleaning and I was up to my elbows in dirt. I managed to press the button to put him on speaker, dirtying my phone in the process so I could answer his call. He gets mad if I don't. But at the end I said to him, "You hang up, I can't touch the phone now." He just pretended he didn't hear me and slammed his phone on the desk. After that I could still hear him on the other side, clearing his throat, typing on his laptop, etc. But I didn't touch my phone out of spite. I finished my cleaning, took the stuff out, did some more chores around the house, etc., all while leaving the phone in the bathroom. I went back to check every so often and he still didn't terminate the call. He only did so after about an hour. He works just over the border in another country. So enjoy paying your international rates for that. And learn to end your own calls. Alright guys, that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So have an awesome day, take care, and I'll see you next time.